Hello, everyone. One good question about the coronavirus is how many people are actually infected. With the number reported by the Chinese government is a bit over 100. Everyone knows that it's not true, but we don't know how many then is true. Probably the Chinese government wouldn't know the exact number because a lot of people who are suspected of having these symptoms, they simply can't get treated and don't have the testing it. Um, there are various versions online. Some universities have the models to estimate the number. The number given by the Guardian is 100,000. The expert said it's between 30,000 to 200,000. That's the range. It's quite a huge gap, but yeah, we would never know. But I have some information here that might help. Um, someone who some Wuhanese who was suspecting that she was infected with the virus, she went to the hospital in her district, and the doctor told her that before her there were about 1,000 people in line waiting for get the treatment, but only 5 or 6 was being treated right now. Um, According to that number, that's 1,000 in one district, and Wuhan city has 13 districts. That's about 13,000 in that city. It's a rough estimate, and that is only in one city. If you think about the Hubei province, if you think about the country, I mean, I would say that 100,000 is not a hugely overestimate. The second question is, what is exactly the source of the virus? I know there is a lot of speculations on that, especially online these days. People are saying it's not from the seafood market, it's actually from a lab, from a leak in a lab based in Wuhan. It's a bio warfare thing built by China, something like that. It initially sounds like a huge conspiracy theory, which I didn't personally believe in, but over the days there are evidences pointing towards that theory. I mean, um, if it's indeed the case, the Chinese government would never admit it. Before there are enough evidences showing that it is a lab leak, let's say it's only a theory. Another good question is why there is such a huge shortage of the medical supplies in Wuhan, especially in the quarantine zone. Normally, the central government has the ability to kind of manage like the resources. They will be able to even force these factories to produce what they need. Some people are saying it's because of the period is around the Spring Festival in China, the Lunar New Year in China. Most of the workers are on holidays, so they can't just recall them immediately. But I personally feel like this is not a good excuse. If you think about it's in China, and the government has the power to kind of make people do stuff. I mean, I don't know the answer to that question. People are, even the Chinese, those people who supporting the Chinese government, they are curious about that question, like why the the hospitals in both Wuhan and other places around the country are asking for donations of medical supplies from the society rather than asking for help from the government because these are usually these should be done by the government. Another good question is who actually made the decision to hide information from the public. The Wuhan mayor was taking an interview in the last few days, and he said it's an epidemic, and according to the Chinese law, he had to report it to the central government before he can review it to the public. Um, it's It's important information because normally in this kind of situation, he was supposed to say that he is actually the decision maker because then it wouldn't be the central government's responsibility for this. But he didn't do that in the interview. He was indicating that it's not my fault. It's your fault. Um, we would like as outsiders, I would say that we would never know exactly what's going on inside the black box in the Chinese CCP party, but uh, a lot of evidences are pointing to Xi Jinping himself. The central government probably knew the information very early, and because it was approaching Chinese Lunar New Year, so they decided to contain the information